one of them down. That's a full team kill.
Another! He's looking for third. He's gonna get it.
Not the kill, and Vastek's gonna find another. He finds that shot. He finds two.
He's still alive. Can he go in?
Oh my goodness.
He's gonna go bar down and give Saints the lead again.
Welcome back, Saints fans, to the NACE StarLeague quarterfinals. We're in the Elite Eight with St. Clair versus Kennesaw State. We got Daniel Jobin and Mr. Dan Banner on the booth today. How are we doing?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. I'm super excited. These NACE StarLeague Valorant playoffs have been an absolute pleasure to watch so far this entire season long. Like everything from like extremely close quarters combat to just series that have absolutely no business being as close as they have been. And the fact that as of right now, it's all been W's here for our Saints has been absolutely remarkable. However, they're definitely going to be challenged here tonight. Yeah, Kennesaw State only having one loss on the season, that going to Northwood, who I believe is actually undefeated so far in the NACE StarLeague playoffs. They're also in the top 8, so St. Clair definitely going to be a slight underdog today, although they have played extremely well yesterday. I mean, we saw an absolute banger of a series. It goes 13-1, 13-2, and then 13-11. So pretty much everything you could ask for, St. Clair has delivered every single time, and they're going to have to deliver one more time to keep the run going here. Yeah, that match yesterday had, like, initially no business. Here I am, like, working on the league side of things, but keep an eye on you over there on the Valorant side of things as well. And it's like, okay, 13-1, Saints lost, and it's like, oh dear, this is going to be a quick day now, isn't it? How does a team go from getting crushed to then crushing, then game 3 literally like going down to borderline overtime? Like, that was an absolute insane matchup in its own right. And they're definitely going to be riding the highs here. But then, of course, like you're saying, Kennesaw State, they've only lost to Northwood. And I mean, it's Northwood, so fair enough. You get a pass for that kind of thing. Exactly. Like, that's fair enough. And, of course, with Kennesaw State themselves, we've played them in a bunch of other esports as well. And especially their program in regards to FPSs seems to be one of those really strong ones. I remember like going up against them in R6, and like they take series off of us. Same thing with Overwatch. Oh dear God, Overwatch. Yeah, we don't talk about that a couple weeks ago. They're extremely solid. So again, like Kennesaw State here, looking to be a very, very tough opponent. Yeah, and one thing we do have the maps. It's going to be Ascent. We're going to be Fracture for map 2, and then we're going to end up being Haven later on. We'll get probably a graphic. We'll get a little closer to the time being. So Saints, a lot of familiarity with Ascent and Haven. They've actually played an excellent Haven, and Haven was their game-winning map both the last 2 games. Ascent, they've shown a really, really strong comp so far. Fracture is the one that concerns me. I'm assuming it was the pick of Kennesaw State because unless St. Clair pulled this Fracture somewhere out of their sleeve, I don't think I've seen them play Fracture one time in the last 4 or 5 weeks, if at all, throughout the NACE season. It might have been map 3 a couple times, but they never ever made it to map 3. So Fracture, not one that we see often. And if a team has really, really drilled Fracture and drilled some of these entry strategies, man, they could definitely be a handful because most teams are just not very familiar yet. Oh, absolutely. However, I do remember overhearing you a little bit on the Valorant cast yesterday, and it did bring up a good point. What is more important, the map pick itself or being able to choose the side of it? True. Because there's been multiple times, especially yesterday, where the map pick, like the team that picked the map, got crushed on the map that they ended up picking. But just being able to start off on that, I guess, your favored side, whichever one you like best, or sometimes even in the reverse, where you just want the rough one out of the way first, and then finish off with a bang. It's the strategy in itself. Yeah, that's why Fracture is kind of that in-between kind of weird one, because theoretically the side pick would be good, but with those middle ropes connecting both sides of the map and being able to split, you can attack a site 4 different ways and way faster than even on like Haven, then you can split the site. So, and because you can attack from the front and the back of both sites on Fracture. So while the side pick does, we definitely, I think even in the pro scene, we've seen side pick has meant a lot more than the map pick has, but when you're playing Fracture, there's 4 sides instead of 2 or 3 this time. So teams are going to have to be ready to adjust because there's definitely going to be some breach play, but I'm curious to see if we see like a Neon or a lot of like maybe a Chamber to try to get those backline flank slows, because there's just so many long angles to watch on Fracture, and it's a mess to watch, but it's also beautiful. Oh, absolutely. I can imagine not wanting to necessarily be on defense first in regards to them that map, considering you can get those forwards separate angles, or if a team's like really getting crafty, maybe like a pincer attack of some sort. Yeah, you send that Neon backline or something, especially because Neon, we've seen a couple teams in pros and collegiate otherwise starting to play her a little bit more
before, just basically just to cause mayhem, not even to really like maximize utility, just like you're looking at 3 of my teammates, I'm going to split your attention all the way back and just run around the map like a maniac. And you can create a lot of space that way, and we've seen it through a couple teams. So I'm really curious to see, because yesterday we saw a lot different compositions, and there's more than one ways to get it done, obviously. So be interesting to see which team goes with what comp.
Oh, and absolutely. And I think I've seen a stat somewhere for like VCT or some of the like professional levels in regards to Neon, that just the chaos itself is just enough, because she doesn't ever get anything with her ultimate. Like no eliminations with her ultimate ever, which is of course a point for it. But if you have just that much like chaos making potential in just your base kit, that can be a comms cluttering kind of situation. So definitely some value in its own right.
Yeah, so we are going to be starting on Ascent, I know, for the map 1. I would hope for St. Clair, they're probably going to play, they played a lot of Omen. Maybe we'll see the Killjoy and the Chamber come, because Ascent, you can lock down both of the sites pretty well with the Killjoy, but St. Clair, they did play, I think they actually might have got beat up pretty bad on Ascent yesterday. I think that was map 1, so they might have got beat up pretty bad, but they do have a lot of familiarity. They're definitely going to run probably a consistent comp to what we've seen the last couple times. I think we're finally going to get into gamers, so we'll see exactly what those compositions are going to look like any moment now. And St. Clair, their sort of a pseudo Cinderella run, so to speak, is still running in March Madness. Elite 8, Kennesaw State, definitely a juggernaut so far. So hopefully get into game, we're going to have to see who's coming out on top.
Yeah, the crazy thing too, like we mentioned, like the crazy run they're going with, just like for a little extra context going into this matchup. So the seeds here for Kennesaw, they're currently the 8th seed here in this tournament. So they're sitting pretty much exactly where they were expected to. Saints, on the other hand, we were 65th seed.
Yeah.
So definitely, on paper, we are quite the underdogs, to say the least, and with every matchup, pretty much since round 2, we've been the underdogs.
Yeah.
But still going to look forward to an absolute crazy matchup in its own right today, and looking forward for the agent select for the composition, similar to what you were talking about as well. I know with Strider, he's very adamant about, hey, we're playing this map, we're playing this composition. Don't alterate from it. Just focus on perfecting this composition. If a new character or something comes out, that's what scrims are for.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, someone got buffed, that's what scrims are for. Do not try that in playoffs.
Yeah, the one good thing, at least, the character that got the biggest buff was Omen, and luckily Omen was already a staple in the game for as long as he was, so it just made him a better character, so there wasn't any adjustment at VCAN. Switching between the Viper and the Omen the last couple games did play extremely well on both. Going to see the small wrinkle being the Killjoy and the... Actually, who was it? Killjoy and Chamber going to be the only swap, so... And actually on the attacking side, KSU going to start with the Killjoy, so a little bit of a difference. We saw that yesterday as well, and it actually ended up paying off extremely, extremely well. So St. Clair going to have to be ready on that. They're going to go with that Chamber. Casper on the Chamber has been absolutely dominant the last couple of games, so hopefully we'll see more of that, locking down that mid with the Tour de Force.
And with Killjoy specifically here on this map, we've seen time and time again how strong using those grenades can be at just stalling out, whether it be on like the catwalk up on the high ground, or whether it just be like on the plant site itself, just stalls so much extra time. But in just a second here, we'll actually take a look at our Kennesaw opponents. Who do we have here on the side? We have TW, Dagan, Attach, Dev, and Duper.
Easily readable names. Nice.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Easily readable and nothing questionable, no dodging. So thank you, Kennesaw. And then, of course, here, your hometown squad here for the Saints. VCAN, Wombat, Blossom, Casper, and Hybrid. Going to take the stage. 3 seconds. Let's get it going.
Yeah, Pistol going to be underway. Going to see a little bit of mixed by Sheriffs. I think maybe a Shorty. Got a couple Frenzies in there as well. A couple Ghosts. KSU going to stack up in the middle just to start this off. Try to get some info. St. Clair going to play pretty aggressive start. Wombat going to run up and get a Sheriff kill. We'll get trade out. A couple of trades go through. 2 for 2 for both sides. Wombat will fall as well. So now 3 for 2 for Kennesaw. And St. Clair ran it down mid pretty decently there to start off, but getting out traded and now 3v2 in Pistol.
Yeah, they ran it down, but like you're saying, they were at least going to be able to trade it out a little bit. I liked a little bit of a spread that we saw from Kennesaw where, yeah, they were all pressuring middle, but they were at least at different points, not just lining each other up. Yeah. So without question, you might be able to take out one, but you would not get a second. It's going to be up to Casper and VCAN here to try and hold off versus the 3. VCAN doesn't realize how perfect of a position he was in. Of course, we got the bird's eye view here, so we know better, but unfortunately the players do not. They are a little bit nervous. Casper on this flank, though, could be disgusting. It looks like KSU's ready to move. Yeah, Casper going to try to walk up your VCAN. Going to be really, really hard to win this fight with the Classic in heaven, so Casper going to have to walk up. VCAN will actually find it on Dev immediately, so turning it into 2v2. They still have no idea Casper's behind them. Going to walk up, dinks one. Going to get the attention of the other. Going to try to get in. The spike plant will get stopped, so Kennesaw 2v1 attached. We'll try to retreat. We'll plant bomb behind Generator. VCAN in heaven. Casper in long, trying to peek. VCAN has the angle. Gets one tap to the Sheriff.
Attach finds 3. 1v1, but Casper finds his 4th with a headshot, and Kennesaw takes pistol with authority.
That was so close. Beautiful play there from Attach to be able to clutch that up. And it was just so unfortunate there for Casper. Had them lined up, but the fact that the Attach in that situation, instead of just trying to turn and burn, just dove over to the left, got out of the line of sight, picked the spike back up, and now all of a sudden it became a 1-on-2, which is still so much more doable. Unfortunate there for Casper, not able to quite clutch that one up, but a very valiant effort in its own right. Still a lot of kills for Saints, so they still have a little bit of money in the bank, but we're going to a save round.
Yeah, Dagan going to be on the Guardian, so probably going to either peek long or peek long A. Got to try to find an early pick with it. It looks like that is maybe what he'll try to do. TW is going to be playing Garage with this turret, trying to see if there's any information. Couple Saints going to be mid and A. Casper will find one with the headhunter. Will take out the I believe the rifle as well for Dagan. Blossom will get killed by the KO, and Casper finds a second in mid. Will get traded out, so once again, 2 trades apiece going through mid, and we're down to a 3v3 in round 2.
Yeah, high value coming out there for Casper. Tay, however, is going to find Hybrid, which means it's going to be all down up to Wombats here, as the Saints just unfortunately all get caught out. Of course, having those pistols means they're not going to be necessarily the favorites in terms of these individual combat scenarios. But then even that shock dart has them down to 10. So this is a really, really rough position here for Wombat. Probably just going to try and peek for 1, but sure enough, Duper right there. And going to take care of Wombat, sure enough. Put themselves up too quickly.
Yeah, Duper able to actually recover the Guardian. That's the gun that Dagan picked up. Able to actually recover that. So decent job of KSU to recover the gun. They did lose a couple SMGs. Nothing they're going to be too overly concerned with. I think they're going to have a full buy with rifles. Going to have full armor on a couple of them over there. Attach 5-1 on the KO to start in KO. Just such a valuable character. You get those grenades. He's able to get the kill on Blossom with the grenade. You get the flashes. You get the suppressed knife. So much uses with KO, especially in this new meta. And say Attach going to go with a hero rifle to top on Dagan's Guardian. So Kennesaw not going to go fully away with the halfway here. Will actually commit to another rifle as well, so St. Clair should be ready for some pretty high firepower. Attach will start the null command and will walk out. Hybrid gonna try to get some information, try to find a couple. They are shoving through Garage. KSU running on site. Nanoswarms come through. Attach finds Hybrid early, so 5v4 for Kennesaw, and they actually do have full site control, and Bomb will go down, and St. Clair will have to play retake.
Yeah, Plan's going to go on down there, and it's just so crazy the fact that the KO on the side of Kennesaw already had that ultimate available, just allowing them to basically just full send into this B site with, at worst, just a ton of scouting information. Wombat's going to be the first on site here for the Saints. Going to be troublesome. Casper back and forth here. Wombat going to end up going down. Very, very close situation indeed. Saints all kind of coming from the same direction, however. We'll have to see. Deegan going to find one. Does try and make the swing, though. That's going to be Casper with a 3K right now. All up to Casper to try and find 2 more, but they are split. Beautiful positioning here from KSU to finish the job.
Yeah, excellent utility use. The Owl drone scans out, I believe it was VCAN perfectly. Gets that Guardian headshot through the wall from the Killjoy. TW saying, how you doing? KSU able to clean the round up. Really, really good push on site. And just like you said, once that null command gets popped and you see those jet smokes come through, you know a full push is coming. St. Clair and Casper especially answered it pretty well. Now Casper, round 3, he already has his Tour de Force online as well. So a little bit of ultimate trading going back and forth. He's going to try to hold down this mid. Going to try to find a pick because the rest of the Saints just struggling to just finish those gunfights at the end of the rounds.
All right, what kind of Casper are we going to see here today? With this ultimate, this makeshift off Tour de Force, as you say, of course. Will it be the one that we've seen the clips of? Just constant like flicks and finding the picks, but will that be the case? Early get kind of shut down. Does get spotted out, kind of has to run. So a little bit of a stall out so far here.
Yeah, smart play by Casper. Just trigger the rendezvous, get out of there. Don't risk dropping the Tour de Force, especially that early in the round. Only 15 seconds in, you do not want to drop the Tour de Force. Deacon, good at shooting early shot with the Sheriff. Will blind 2, unable to get the finish, so Duper will get the kill and get the headshot. Casper going to be sitting in tree now. It will get smoked out. Kennesaw State looks like they're probably going to commit to this A push. They're going to send 4 through door. Jet will dash on site, try to create some space. Casper still trying to hold through tree. Duper will find Wombat and have a Nanoswarm. Did some damage as well. Blossom ticked down to 1 HP, so Kennesaw State with a huge advantage so far in sight. And Bomb is planted, so St. Clair has to work cut out for them here.
An absolute mess here, but we're going to see. Looks like Blossom gets suppressed as well, so no more utility coming out for them. And that turret's just
1 HP, better watch.
Just saying the how you doing, so to speak here. And sure, Saints do have some snipers, still have a Tour de Force, but this is still such a rough position with all 5 members of Kennesaw right there. Honestly, I feel like you might just give this one up.
Yeah, the Tour de Force, you're not going to be able to keep it anyway, so I'd probably try to get a couple picks, as Casper might be thinking here. So, going to try to find one, unable. Splits 2 defenders like it's the goalpost, and Kennesaw going to take a 4-0 lead going through the flawless, and St. Clair going to have to try to figure something out, because right now they have not had an answer for this rush blitz of Kennesaw.
Yeah, Casper threads the needle, however, not the kind of one we were looking for in that regard, but it would have been a tough one at the end of the day, nonetheless here. That being said, though, Saints ready to full buy up for this next round. Yes, Kennesaw getting 4 nice and quick, and to be honest, looking at their pockets, they are quite filled as of right now.
Oh, yeah.
They have some wiggle room, which is definitely comforting, and just this Kennesaw attack's been looking absolutely fantastic so far, to say the least.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be sharing a nice one with General Duck there, but going to have to peek with this Phantom or the Vandal actually here in a second. Going to try to find something. Blossom will get suppressed out, and we'll get the suppressed in trade. So information getting exchanged for both sides. Well, Casper going to sit on the backside of this Omen smoke. They definitely know someone's there. Almost always someone sits in this corner. Casper will get spotted by the KJ turret. They will try to swing. He will hit the rendezvous and get out of dodge. So going to sit back and try to set up with Hybrid. Blossom going to get that ready on that KO nade in case they push through garage as heavy as they did before. Not a bad idea. They are actually sending a couple through mid. Hybrid might be possibly engaged here in a second. Vcan gonna try to swing. We'll try to find her and won't get the spray. He actually will find the spray. We'll take one. Drops KSU. We'll flash back into the corner and get out of safety. So St. Clair with a nice early pick to start the round.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one way to get the round started here. And these Omen smokes right now coming out of Kennesaw are just so obnoxious for the Saints to try and deal with. You see, like, they're even like thinking about before, like maybe using the KO grenade alongside some of like maybe a rushdown from Casper or something, but just constantly being shut out here. Casper, decent angle. Maybe you could find attach. Now we do have, that's going to be the ult coming out one of the Omens, I do believe. Here we go. Attach charges on through, takes care of Casper. Hybrid going to trade back. He's going to find 2 actually. So perfect situation. Blossom finds 1 as well, which means it is all down to the Jet on the side of KSU to somehow turn this around. That Spike is in a very awkward position. I don't see him getting back in this. Deegan, what can you do?
Yeah, if you're St. Clair, just try to hold on to all your weapons here. You know where he is. You know where the spike is. If he tries to run through here, cross him up and drop him because I will dash. Actually, we'll dash through. We'll get the headshot on Vcan, so not necessarily out of the wood. That finds 2 on Hybrid now, so St. Clair dropping a couple rifles. They probably didn't need to. 7 seconds left. 6. 5 going to be taking down here. The bomb won't have time to get planted, but Dagan definitely content to get a couple more kills and get those 2 exit frags. St. Clair, just those 2 deaths definitely are going to hurt the eco a little bit. You thought you're going to get out of there with only 1 dropped.
Yeah, some economy damage and a little emotional damage, to say the least. They're getting like 2 taken down when it was the 1 before kind of scenario, but still, the Saints not in a bad position even with the extra damage. Granted, though, it is going to exhaust them a little bit. They could probably like get close to a full buy. They're seeing a little bit of half shields coming out here as well, so the difference between a full shield and a half shield for some of these players is definitely going to hurt. Yeah,
especially if the way these players shoot and tap fire, man, 1 bullet is all it takes at any given time. So it's pretty much like Rainbow Six Siege. That 1 bullet any time will get you. Hybrid gonna put the recon dart, gonna try to recon dart out garage. Kennesaw stacking decently on B. They are leaving the spike in between for a rotation, possibly between B link. Rendezvous gonna be triggered by Casper, gonna get out of that pick. KW will walk up and get the ult torp, so 1 off the lockdown now. Gonna leave the KJ turret. Casper will actually get the headshot on Dagan, so Casper actually winning that mid engagement and end up winning after he hit the rendezvous. So St. Clair, once again, they did get first blood, so let's see if they're able to slow the push of Kennesaw. Now, the Jet's not there to create that space, so just play really, really slow, ride out this utility, and try to grind Kennesaw down.
Yeah, we see Dev getting ready to lead the charge here for Kennesaw in just a second. However, that is going to be Vcan literally standing right in the open. That is going to be a nasty nade, and it is going to get him taken down. So a good little play there from Attached to just not go swinging in blindly. That being said, there is still the Jet as well as the rest of the squad here from the Saints, and that's going to be good. A double for the Saints to at least even this one up. Never mind, Wombat, you're just going to go absolutely crazy out of nowhere. That is insane.
Yeah, Wombat just running through tree and absolutely cleaning up. End up finding 3, so St. Clair gets that first blood, gets traded out pretty badly in the beginning, and then able to pick it up there. Wombat finds a 3K, and now we've got a boatload of ultimates online for each side. I would not be surprised to see a Blade Storm pop, maybe push the site, and then see that lockdown to force St. Clair out of there, and then maybe try to get some frags, because Kennesaw could put together some good stuff here, but St. Clair does have a couple of their own to play with, so good to get those 2 rounds back, and now got to keep it rolling.
Man, that last play, like, have you ever had to commentate during the Siege 20-second meta?
No.
That's basically what it was. It is an absolute observing nightmare when everyone just full sends it with a couple seconds left. So that is absolutely crazy. Killjoy, though, this is going to make things a little bit awkward. Normally you would answer this with the Hunter's Fury, but no such ability here for the Saints. Yeah, they just tried to get the bullets right through the wall. 2 kills will come through. Wombat will get traded out. The lockdown is still going to get activated, though. Won't get destroyed. 1 will get detained. Dagan and finds 2 kills. Dagan going to try to holding Saints off site. The res will get through on the null command. Actually, will get finished off anyways. Vcan will get the cleanup. So 3v3 now. St. Clair does lose site control. They are getting, bomb is going down for KSU. Casper will find him, will get traded out. Hybrid peaks, will swing and get the kill on Duper. So now a 2v1, Hunter's Fury online for both. They're going to have to force Kennesaw out of here. Hybrid trying to get, he will actually use the Hunter's Fury after the tag. Won't find the 1 tag, won't find the second one.
we'll put it away for the time being. Dupe or Dev able to dodge those Hunter's Fury shots. So Hybrid, if they're unable to find this kill now, this could be very, very costly for St. Clair. They're going to exchange recon darts, little Sova warfare here. Dev, but neither getting tagged out.
Wow.
And Hybrid loses the Sova 1v1, and Kennesaw somehow, some way clutches.
Once again, just another position where Kennesaw is able to just clutch up when you think that they wouldn't have. Unfortunately for the Saints, you had the info, but it may not have come out quick enough.
Yep.
Hybrid's drone saw that the player there, saw Dev was dead center in any position. You just send both of the Saints on the opposite sides. There's no way that you're going to turn and burn on two people. And I understand wanting to use the Hunter's Fury, but now that just puts you in such a rough spot, like ult economy-wise. Yep. And just, I understand the playoffs, the nerves. These players are already happy to be as far as they want to, or as far as they are. But still, the stakes are just starting to get to some of the Saints players. That being said, though, we're still very early. This is not done just yet.
Yeah, Wombat going to be locked down in tree. We'll get suppressed. Hunter's Fury does come through for Kennesaw, trying to get some sight clear. Blade Storm gets popped and immediately turned offline by Dagon. Little jet on jet crime. Kennesaw, Hunter's Fury did come through trying to get some info. I don't think it got any tags, but St. Clair isn't a 5v4, and Kennesaw has been they've been very well known to push this with a 5-stack and get success. So Vcan and Casper going to be double holding tree. Hybrid and Wombat, or Blossom, going to be in heaven. Blossom and Dagon will find some trades. 4v2 now for St. Clair. They're going to be dropped. KW finds 2 through tree, and Kennesaw now with a 4v1, and Hybrid gets run down, and Heaven Dagon finds a third, and Kennesaw rolls to 6-2.
This positioning from Kennesaw is just crisp, to say the least. Just absolutely like cleaning up and like, getting themselves into the proper positions, spike down and good, but the post plants are just so hard to try and deal with right now. Just the crossfires are everywhere. Every corner is covered, and it's really given the Griffs here, the Saints rather, there's such a hard time nonetheless here, especially on that A site, it seems, where we know, especially for Killjoy specifically, those nades are just absolutely ridiculous. Just the amount of zoning going on is tough to deal with. Yeah, Kennesaw has the Soba darts, they have the KO nades and the KJ nades. They have a lot of delay and a lot of offense ability to push. Hybrid gonna get a peek with the Sheriff, the KJ nade and the Nano and the turret will go through and garage. So gonna back up there. Wombat will take the turret out. He will get flashed up by KO. Wombat will unable to dash. Dashes into the table, doesn't get out of sight. Dagon finds a headshot. So St. Clair now already down a man. Hybrid on this Sheriff playing the short corner. Owljone will go through, trying to land shark and find any information. Unable to find anything. Hybrid, if he peeks, unable to find the tag. Casper finds one on the cross instead, though. So now a 4v4. St. Clair does have the gun disadvantage, but Hybrid gonna play this short corner, trying to find a tag. He's got 2 swing. He's got to try to find a pick here. Unable to find it. He will get taken out. Vcan will find one in wake, though. So now a 3v3. Low health on the Killjoy. So St. Clair definitely not out of this one. Yeah, so 3v3 retake position. So far, not too bad here for either side, but with that one going down, Blossom goes down pretty early before the rest of the cavalry was here for the Saints. Nice little pick from Casper, however, going to find the headshot. So it continues to be even playing field, but with the fact that the spike's down, Saints have to move here. Vcan is still a little bit of a ways away. Casper's going to want to push with 2. There we go. But this,
get the rifle.
There we go. Now that is an actual fantastic pickup. But here we go. One last chance.
Cover going out.
Shadows will go over Vcan. He does have Paranoia online. He could do the blind into Boathouse. They are going to have to push. Tied. They have maybe 15 seconds left, so they're going to have to push. Vcan and Casper going to have to swing here. Vcan jumps into Boathouse, able to find one. He will end up finding one. Casper does. We'll have to stick the defuse. I don't think they'll have the time to do it. The melee kill will come through for TW. Casper finds the 4K, but they just pushed a little bit too late there. They had utility to use and just, they waited 5 seconds too long to make that final push.
Was that a gun or a knife kill?
That was a knife.
That's honestly... fair enough, just full send it. Even if you get taken down there, that was just enough time to stall off for the spike to actually explode. So a nice little reset in terms of economy too, because there was no way that the Saints players were going to even be able to escape even if they cleaned everybody out. So
yeah, exactly. So that still wasn't the end of the world.
Yeah, forcing everybody to buy up. And take a look at the difference in economy here. Saints, that hurt. Imagine if they had like even just one more gun.
Yeah, a couple members of KSU not doing too hot as well. St. Clair, they did have mostly Sheriff, so taking out 3 to 4 guns there was still not too bad, although they definitely would have liked to win the round in that 2v2 with all the utility. Wombat going to be holding garage. As usual, the KG turret will be there just in case anyone tries to swing out and do anything crazy. And that's one actually really strong play with the turret, is that we've seen Wombat and St. Clair. They like to play that rush defensively, and if you put that KJ turret there, you pretty much nullify that completely on the one site. So Vcan will get traded out the tree. Duper able to find the kill. Casper rubbing shoulders with 4 different players like ships in the night right now. Casper will try to swing. Will get taken out by Duper. He finds 2 in tree, and once again, KSU will get bombed on, and now an uphill retake for St. Clair.
Yeah, another brutal situation to try and deal with. A 3-on-5. A little bit of utility in the pocket of Saints still, but still going to be extremely difficult, especially since Duper is on a killing spree right now. 3 currently. That's going to be Blossom, going to be victim number 4 here. Jin would be happy, but we do have another one. Now it's going to be Hybrid this time. Going to take care of Duper, so at least that's 1 off the board. We've gotten ourselves another Hybrid hanging on by dear life, but there's no way he's going to be able to breach this. Like we were talking about before, the Kennesaw positioning just too strong to breach.
Yeah, this is the Kennesaw. We've seen a lot of teams have this style, man. St. Clair, they do tend to struggle. If they give up sight, they have a really tough time retaking unless they get these kind of hero plays. So they need to try to stall that initial push of Kennesaw. And Kennesaw right now, just finding ways to get it done, whether it's through combined flashes, crossfires. St. Clair just has to dig deep and they have to find a way because Kennesaw, only 2 rounds left to halftime. They're going to have the Blade Storm. They do have the Omen ult. They might get another lockdown or a Hunter's Fury. We'd have to see, but St. Clair going to have to try to figure it out because this is getting to be a pretty rough first half.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where it just seems like if the Saints get stuck trying to like retake on a post-plant position, the game's lost.
Yeah.
Just because of the way like Kennesaw is, specifically here on Ascent. We of course haven't gotten to see anything later on, but this attacking side here for Kennesaw just seems very rehearsed, and looking at the utility they have this time by, especially with the ultimates and a couple ultimates on deck with one more round, is going to be deadly.
Yeah, especially the Blade Storm, able to do so much damage. The Omen ult's pretty good for your positioning and messing with the other team. Null Command is online now as well for Kennesaw. Did get the orb, so 3 ultimates if they decide to play. Vcan will end up shooting through the door until it's 1 HP. Does have the blind ready if he wants to try to blind and swing on this team.
Go.
Omen TP will go through. Jet will dash up. KO Nade comes through. Blossom finds attach. Dev ends up getting the trade on Blossom. Duper teleported onto that top box. Excellent positioning. Finds a kill on Casper. Unable to find the other. Tried to flash out. KW finds a kill as well. So 3v2 Kennesaw. Bomb is going down now. Hybrid trying to allo drone out. They have a couple members HP low. Dugan or Dagan in hell. Gonna be low HP. Shocker is gonna go out. Unable to get any tags. Hybrid gonna have to try to swing here. Trying to find something in hell. Unable to find anything. Wombat gonna try to get sheriff tags. He will find. We'll get the headshot. We'll get traded out. Now it's a 2v1 Hybrid. Sitting in heaven. He's got his work cut out for him though.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough. Regardless of which way you look, there's going to be somebody. Can you somehow maybe catch somebody slipping? Oh, there's the grenades that I was talking about earlier, too. Just going to shred you. It's going to force you to move. You move too far, and that's going to be the KJ right there in the corner able to deal with you. Going to drop down, finds one. Time's ticking, however. And honestly, Tay, you just got to stay exactly where you are. Force him to come to you. He's going to die. Going to get the kill. Is that going to be enough time?
Yeah, he's got time.
That will absolutely do it then. So just
maybe 1.5, 2 seconds.
Holy smoke. So again,
yeah.
Like, just to break that down a bit, just park it. I know, like, it's a little bit of a weird situation because, of course, like, gamers, we like adrenaline, right? We want to hold down W and just charge in like a Reinhardt or something. But sometimes it's just fine to just sit there.
And I think after he hit that nanoswarm grenade, and after he got tagged out, I think it was, or Vcan, took some damage in the last fight as well. So I think once they knew he was low HP, that KG was always going to swing. But like you said, sometimes parking it and just strafe around that gender, he only had to buy 3 seconds left. So if you're able to get him to re-trigger the gunfight one time, you're probably going to walk away. Dev, they are going to do some Sova Odin spam through the garage wall possibly. Turrets and suppress will come through, but I haven't seen the Odin get taken out in a while. So it's curious to see if they try to use that to spray through B or A heaven and hell. Dev gonna use the thing. Bladestorm will try to take out the drone possibly. Kennesaw, a couple knives are gonna go by. Awesome, gonna be lined up with this nade in garage. Kennesaw is gonna do a full rotation over from B to mid A though. So curious to see what they do. Wombat is waiting on this flank. He's got multiple members, finds one, unable to find the second, doing decent damage, but you would have loved to get at least 2 there. Vcan will walk up through the smoke and hit Dagan, gets the headshot. So now 4v3 for St. Clair. Pretty good job of shutting down that initial push of Kennesaw.
Absolutely. The fact that we've got these eliminations before the spikes anywhere even near planted is just an absolute boon in the pocket here for the Saints. A nice little Hunter's Fury to just force them to move. Perfect. And that's going to let Casper just run amok on the squad. Triple kill coming out here for Casper to finish the round.
Yeah, Hybrid popping the Hunter's Fury, sending fear through Kennesaw's soul, and then Casper able to find 3, clean up. St. Clair desperately needed to get those 2 rounds back. Still have a long ways to go, but those are the building blocks. You have to keep that going now because Kennesaw, once you get to that 10 number in Valorant, it's like the magic number. Once you hit double digits, man, you're in that end game portion, and things just get a lot tougher, especially economy-wise.
Yeah, it's not like it necessarily puts any extra pressure on in terms of the game itself. However, just looking at and seeing double digits, it oftentimes to like an undisciplined and like not very patient team can just kind of scare the crap out of you, right?
Yep.
So just being able to shut it down like they are, like bringing it within 4 rounds with the way this game initially looked like, it looked like Kennesaw just like we're not necessarily unbeatable, but very rehearsed on the
Yeah,
attack.
it was like 5 or 6-0, I think, or something around there. Yeah, they just looked so clean.
The adaptation is just looking good so far, as Duper is going to find the first one on the Wombat.
Wombat gonna get shoved to the shorty. Dagan will find 2 with the Sheriff
Okay.
Hybrid. Finally trading him out. Got 25 HP though, so St. Clair getting the negative end of that trade. He will get swung on by Dev. Gonna have to try to find a killer, but only 25 health, so V can. Gonna have to support him.
Wow.
Perfect shock that he knew Hybrid would walk into the corner. Finds the kill and attach, gets the headshot. So we've seen so much good Sova utility the last 2 days. I honestly can't believe it.
Yeah, you can definitely tell, like, we're getting some peak collegiate competition here in this NACE StarLeague playoffs, and I absolutely love to see it. But one thing we're definitely not loving to see here for this side of the hometown squad here for the Saints. Of course, halftime happened. We switched sides, but unfortunately, once again, we're going to be starting off this this half on the back foot after a little bit of a rough engagement towards that B site. Some solid plays all around here for the side of KSU, bringing themselves up to 9-4, and bringing a little extra long-range utility, considering how solid the Saints have been on pistols.
This is basically an operator with the Saints armor, so they better be careful. And if they're going to peek this Marshall, they better be convicted, because this is pretty much an op with the Saints armor buy. All right, Dagan is going to try to find him. We'll miss the first shot. Tries to get the no-scope. Finds the headshot on Beacon on the 3rd attempt. We'll try to get the flick on Wombat, unable to do so. And will get lit up through the smoke. So St. Clair punishing Dagan for trying to get those kills. Maybe Wombat can recover the marsh now. He's going to bump shoulders with Duper. Gets the dash. Finds a few tags. And Duper through the smoke finds a spray. Down to like 10 HP though. So not the worst thing in the world for St. Clair considering the buy. Able to put some pressure. They will actually recover the Marshall as well. So not the worst thing in the world, but definitely not the start. Attached will end up finding the kill on Hybrid as well. So actually, now after St. Clair, things are looking pretty dire.
Yeah, the initial 1-for-1, I would have said that would have been a win in the Saints book. Just pistol for the sniper, of course, but now things have kind of escalated a little bit more difficult as we now see some more smokes coming on through just to stall the Saints even more at this point. And he even tried, just even getting the orb behind the wall isn't even safe. Picked up the Ares and just going to shred right on through. This Blossom in a very awkward position, and they don't realize it, I don't think, but they are just absolutely taking him down.
Dev, he knows he's there. I think that maybe they don't quite know because Blossom hasn't played his hand, but Dev, when he bought the Odin I mentioned, the wall spam was almost certainly coming attached.
There it goes.
The utility, I think the utility was responsible for like 300 damage of the Saints are between the KO nade and the shock darts. And then, just as I thought Dev might eventually do, he went from Odin to Ares. That wall spray on B side or on A side is just so strong. There's nothing you can do about it. Actually on the B side, but there's just nothing you can do. Finds almost 100 damage just through random wall tags. That ultimate orb, just that noise was a little bit too loud for St. Clair, and Kennesaw continues to roll into double digits now.
Yeah, I'll oftentimes see newer players say, like, why would I get the Ares when I can just get an assault rifle? That is exactly why. Just being able to have that extra, like, penetration through walls and just being able to get those wall bangs. So
half the
beautifully done.
cost.
Here we go. Once again, a little bit of an engagement towards this A site. Deegan off with a fantastic double. Gonna make this attack very, very scrappy for the Saints already. 3v5.
Yeah, I think Wombat might have got tagged up by a nade for 50 damage. There's only one sheriff shot required to actually drop him. So another drop, the utility once again coming through for KSU. Turning defense into offense, running down St. Clair. Vcan will eventually find one. Low HP for the Omen of Kennesaw as well. Vcan will get paranoid, try to get the shots through. Low HP for a couple members of Kennesaw. So St. Clair possibly could make something. Hybrid actually very, very low HP as well. So all things considered, not the greatest start for St. Clair. Kennesaw pretty much taking it to him. Hybrid caught lacking on the drone. Vcan will find the kill on attach, but now a 3v1, make it 3v0, and Kennesaw takes round 15.
Kennesaw just did that so quickly, too. As soon as they kind of realized that, hey, we've got the Saints stuck here, no hesitation.
Yeah.
2 players are already flanking. So even if they did try to retreat, either you would go down and you'd be able to make the call out right away, or you're going to get the flank, and just perfect execution here for, I think that was Dev in that situation.
Yeah.
Just, again, just finding some value with that Ares and just catching the Saints off guard, forcing BCAM to just run through the smoke and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And that is going to put Saints in a very rough position as Kennesaw now just 2 rounds away from victory.
Yeah, I do actually love that call from Kennesaw, although they hadn't tried that once yet all game, and they had been winning a lot of these entry engagements. So if you think, hey, we can catch these guys napping, they were able to do just that, able to steal around. Wombat will dash through a lot of utility, try to find something in market, and able to do so. A lot of Saints walking through, but once again, the HP of a couple of the Saints already trickled down a little bit. Wombat will try to get the spray, finds a spray on TW. He's blind, can't find any spray, will updraft. Dev will find one, Dagan finds one as well, so now a 2v2. Wombat able to get some trades out. Wombat able to recover a rifle now, gonna try to figure out something, gonna try to peek this left side. Dagan and Duper trying to peek through market. Casper walking up through mid with Headhunter, has no idea. No one ever checks that corner mid. I cannot count how many times for both teams. No one ever checks that corner. Kennesaw knew it, sits there, gets the free kill on Casper, and now Wombat 67 HP getting sprayed at. They have a pretty good idea where he is, and this will be a rough go.
Yeah, going to find the one, but is going to turn as soon as Duper finds the, or just shows up. So unfortunately, that is going to be match point right in the pocket here of Kennesaw. Looking like a fantastic start, to say the least. The Saints have had like moments of hope, moments of glory. However, the consistency is just not right. Are not in their favor right now. Kennesaw looking so good.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. The utility just a little bit too strong for Kennesaw, and St. Clair just losing these trades. And when you lose a trade here and there, it's okay. But when you're losing like 80% of the trades at the end of the round, that's going to be the resulting in the score. Kennesaw 12-4. St. Clair, couple ultimates online, but I mean they're gonna have to win 8 rounds in a row to push overtime. So I'm not gonna sit here and say it'll be easy. Bladestorm will come online. The op shots will come through for Kennesaw. So both teams gonna go for it. Dagan takes out Casper. Kennesaw exactly they start looking for. Up will come out again. He will have to dash back out of market. Dagan gonna get run up on with the pistol. Bladestorm Wombat gonna try to walk back on the flank here, maybe find something, but hasn't found anything yet. TW will find another one on Blossom. So although the Bladestorm's out, KSG will try to flash out. The Bladestorm will whiff. Wombat finds nothing. Attach finds him. 5v2 now for Kennesaw. Make it 4v2 now. Actually, Deacon will find the kill, but 17 HP. And once again, the Saints just always have 1 HP at the end of every single round, and you're just not going to be able to win 2 to 3 gunfights at that health.
No, not at all. And with this op is just finding value here. We haven't really seen it from very much of the game, but now Deegan just kind of just going in with all sorts of fear here, to say the least. We're making the Saints fear it. Hybrid is going to eventually deal with 1, but can you deal with the rest? Probably not. The numbers are not in your favor. Kennesaw going to take this one 13-14 or 14.
Yeah.
13-4.
Yeah, I wish it was 14-13. Unfortunately, not 13-4 for Kennesaw. Man, those Jet op plays. You don't let a Jet get hot, man. I've said it so many times, and it seems to be true for whatever reason. Once a Jet gets going, they bust out the operator, and then it's 3K, it's site clears. And Kennesaw, that utility use, they clearly had a very, very strong game plan, and they executed it damn near flawlessly.
Yeah, and the attacking side, like, it didn't look like a Saints round unless there was early picks.
Yep.
Anytime it got into a post-plant position, which, of course, are very difficult. I'm not going to try and make it seem like, this is something that's like night and day. You should have this, like, completely, like, you know what I'm trying to say.
But when you have a 5v4, you gotta make something happen.
Yeah, it's just really weird. There was a few interactions where it was like 1-on-2s, 1-on-3s that are just like either impulsiveness or panic seems to kind of set in a little. Whether it be just overused utility and ultimate in certain situations. And like Kennesaw, they're showing that they're the 8th seed for a reason. That this squad is no slouch. Like, even if they do drop the round, it's like, okay, you use so much to get me. Okay, that's fine. Let's go for the next round, why don't we? And then we're just able to absolutely clutch things up. So sure enough, going to see here the 13-4 victory for Kennesaw State onto Ascent. But game number 2, of course, I think we're both kind of excited to see how this one goes through. Fracture, of course, not a map we've seen at all in any league, any regular season, any playoffs from the Saints at all. It's been basically a perma-banned map for the most part. How this made it through, I have absolutely no idea, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to, assuming it was Kennesaw State's pick, man, taking Ascent like that over the Saints when you know they're familiar with it, and now moving into Fracture. St. Clair, I really, really hope they've been drilling Fracture, because this is a map that, man, if you don't know what you're doing, you can get easily lost in the sauce. And because, especially if they run a Neon or something, there's so much to worry about from so many different spots. And the way Breach works on this map, his utility works through like the entire map pretty much. A lot of his fault lines and stuff. Sometimes you can clear some of the smaller gaps with some of his utility. So there's a lot of really weird, tricky stuff with Fracture. And if you haven't spent like hours and hours on it, you can get caught off guard in a lot of spots. And the way Kennesaw played that utility, they look like they're probably going to have a game plan for every map.
And of course, like you're saying, with having just so many more pathways to work with, is definitely going to lend itself to a tactical mind. But I do believe we're going to be taking ourselves a very, very quick 5 prior to going into game number 2. Nope. Never mind. Looks like we're going to full send
reset.
It,
going to go in. Yeah. Yesterday, the mental reset maybe helped a little bit. Maybe St. Clair just ready to get back into it. Blossom going to be playing the Blast Pack. So yeah, we're going to see double Breaches come out just as I thought. Going to see double Brimmy Stimmy. So that's close to my heart, near and dear. And on Fracture, honestly, that's how you can tell they're on Fracture. Look how much speed and like dueling ability both of these teams have now. It's flashes, it's stuns, it's speed, and it's explosiveness.
Anytime you see a Breach, you just know, and like alongside all the dueling capabilities, like you were saying, just not seeing this kind of composition out from the Saints at all. So I guess like we don't necessarily have data on their scrims, but I know I personally would absolutely love to see how it works here. And I guess here we go. Looks like the Saints are going to opt to attack first, which in theory should be the better side, I would imagine.
Fracture it's honestly a team to team thing, because theoretically you could say we have a great strategy for backside A or backside B, but you have to have scrimmed every single one of these sites so many times that honestly, I'm not sure. Sometimes it comes down to, all right, double Brimmy, Stimmy B, full rush in there and try to find kills on Fraction, because that's just how the map plays out. And I will say, St. Clair is actually going to use the save, so they are going to try to slow off maybe some of the push of Kennesaw. Thought maybe we'd see a Neon or something a little more exciting, but this is decently standard comps for Fracture here. Wombat going to be on the chamber. Actually, Wombat going to be on the chamber now, so a little bit of a switch because we're going to see Casper go on to the breach. So a little bit of a swap for St. Clair. I don't think we've seen Wombat on the chamber for a couple of weeks, so maybe he's got something in mind that we haven't seen in a little while.
And that I've never seen Casper's breach, so this is going to be
Yeah.
interesting. But at the same time, we've never seen this
Look at
map
this breach
so
utility immediately just
yeah, this looks like anxiety-inducing.
10 seconds in, and there was like 6 pieces of utility used already. That's how it's pretty much how Fracture works. Double breach. Couple smokes gonna go down. No kills actually yet on pistol, so a little bit surprising, but both teams gonna try to jockey. Deb will actually find the first one on hybrid, gonna drop him. Spike will get dropped as well, so not necessarily a great spot. It will get rotated over. Saint's gonna use that stimmy and run over to B side and try to get this rotate and try to get this plant, hopefully.
And there is still like Wombat on the A site, just maybe cause a little bit of noise, cause a little bit of a distraction. And he is going to get a piece, but not the spot that he was looking for. That being said, though, it did allow Saints to just make a run for it all the way to B. If they could somehow post-plant this, it's going to put them in a fantastic position. Shots fired, it's going to leave it all down to one. Casper, what can you do here to stop 5 from Kennesaw?
Yeah, with breach, you can do a little bit to hold off, but he's going to get run up on here. The jumping shorty will eventually find the mark. Kennesaw, very low HP. St. Clair, that's a round that you hate to lose. Obviously, it's pistol, but look at the HP of Kennesaw. You were
hurt.
1 bullet off of 4 different kills, so just so close, but St. Clair dropping pistol on Fracture to start things off.
Yeah, the low HPs there. Just imagine if that was a one-on-one at the end there.
Yep.
Like, that's definitely a sad time to say the least here. And honestly, like strategically, like solid opportunity there for Saints.
Yep.
Yeah, the A site, like it burned a ton of utility. I think you only lost 1, so make the swing over to B. And nearly an opportunity there for Casper to like maybe make the flank or a bit of a distraction.
Yeah,
but
try to get something going, but yeah.
just could not quite find it this time by. So again, for this one, Kennesaw going to start things off on the right side. Going to be putting themselves in fantastic position economy-wise. And even still, like very, very, like small buys of sorts with the SMGs. Nothing too insane, but still quite powerful.
And you can tell it's Fracture. Look at the player spacing to start the round. You can tell we're playing on Fracture. Great paint shell into the corner. We'll get Blossom out into a bunch of enemies. We'll jump up with the right click. Ends up finding a couple tags. So St. Clair actually going to get pushed back by that breach utility. Still going to send back and get a kill. Casper going to have to back up because of the molly, but St. Clair able to find a kill. Spike is picked up. Wombat going to be holding this headhunter. Try to find him. Will miss the first shot. Will miss the second. Down to 37 HP. So St. Clair going to have to fall back, especially Wombat being alone over their VCAN. Going to swing back over these ropes to try to go maybe get some Wombat some heals and try to assist him. Dagan will find Casper off site. St. Clair now down to a 4v2. Wombat still very low HP and getting pushed up here by Dev, it looks like. Going to get the heal from Sage finally, but 4v2 now, only got a couple pistols. It's going to be pretty difficult to break site here.
Okay, so VCAN apparently is the medevac here in this situation, just using the ropes
Yeah.
just to heal whoever needs it, and then going to be carrying the spike as well. But they have to be careful. Duper is right here. They've made their presence known, and he could very well find some value here with this pistol. And actually, if we see the flank coming on through, this is just such a rough spot to be in, and sure enough, the Saints are going to be shredded. I don't care how good you are, you're not surviving that.
Yeah, 2v4, shorties and ghosts running up on you. All that utility, they got the KO suppressor, so they knew exactly where St. Clair was.
Oh boy.
Able to collapse on them. Gonna see the operator coming out pretty early on the side of Kennesaw, so Chamber gonna take out that operator. Duper gonna be on it. Dev gonna go with the Sheriff, couple Spectres that they didn't lose from last round. St. Clair gonna go half armor on a couple and full rifle, so if you're St. Clair, you want to take this bonus round, because if you leave this off up and you let the economy start rolling, man, it could get real ugly.
Yeah, it's insane the fact right now that Kennesaw, and for Duper specifically, already has the operator available. Like, even just getting, like, one elimination and just saving it is just going to be so much value. And sure enough, Wombat going to be taken down right away. Duper not making any mistakes.
Yeah, that's a textbook Chamber entry right there. You find that first blood and you get out of dodge. Dagan, gotta try to find the headshot. Gonna blast back out of there. So, got some information. Gonna chuck the paint shells possibly to back them up, but nothing gonna come through. Casper trying to line up the fault line here. Trying to get some utility in for thing. Blossom gonna try to get flash. Gonna blast back through. St. Clair. A little bit, they've started to halfway commit to a push, but haven't really. Kennesaw going to get a pretty big rotation coming through mid, so St. Clair going to have to be ready on that backside door. Blossom will get flashed out in tower here. Duper finds another one with the operator, so 2 kills to start the round with the op, and now 5v3, and just that utility slowly getting drained for St. Clair and Kennesaw. They're going to have a pretty good collapse on St. Clair. They have 5 stacked through mid. St. Clair doesn't have the bomb down yet, so this is going to get harder and harder to go as St. Clair waits the time.
Yeah, by them like waiting this much time now, from what could have been maybe a scrappy 4-on-3 or something like that, now it is going to be all 5 members coming out swinging in just a second. We're going to see Dev take care of Weekend, and sure enough, the rest going to be coming down very shortly afterward. Hybrid being the final casualty as Attach finds himself a quick double at the end, and just Saints having a hard time so far on this Fracture attack.
Yeah, Fracture in a nutshell. You kind of debate doing this. Do you want to do that? Do I want to rotate this way? And then it ends up being a stimmy 5-stack team fight. The St. Clair losing all their rifles, unfortunately. That was a round they really, really wanted to have now. Going to have a pretty crippled buy. The operator still in the hands of Duber, so that the one ace in the hole, you wanted to get that out of his hands. Because once he gets that up, then you might get the Tour de Force online. So you're going to have to deal with the operator for possibly 3 to 4 more rounds minimum. So we want to try and get at least 2 guns out of the hands of Kennesaw. Ideally 3, but you got to find a couple kills here.
Yeah, it looks like A is going to be the target for at least this initial push here for Saints. Casper on the opposite side, actually. Maybe we're going to try and burn some CC from the reverse section this time by. No, they're actually going to make the switch right back to B site, which, to be fair, they've always been able to get the spike down on B.
Yeah.
But just not have been able to really defend it. Wombat going to get kind of caught his pants down a little bit there.
Yeah.
Just throwing the card out, and unfortunately not going to keep himself alive this time by. Some decent damage coming across some of the members, and it's allowing for Casper and Blossom to clean up a little bit. So if Saints have themselves an opportunity, this is as good as any.
Yeah, that's how you play that split entry on Fracture. You force the weak enemies into the other side of your team with open arms, although a couple kills coming through. Weekend, a couple guns going to be dropped for St. Clair. Now 3v2, 3v1. Dev going to try to get the flash out. He actually did get the flash on Blossom. Some turned his head away. We'll try to find the spray. Blossom finds one, so there's definitely a possibility here. Spike is down near Blossom as well. Duper still has that operator, though. Man, this is going to be dangerous. So Blossom peeks this, and now he knows the op shot comes through. He is still going to hold it, so pretty aggressive decision. I think Duper does have a rendezvous active, so he might be able to teleport out of there. He will find Spike. Blossom. He knows the only way he wins this fight is to creep up, but Dagan finally aware of it and takes him out. And that was great. Blossom knew he was going to lose long range, so he tried to get close, but unfortunately, Kennesaw was aware and just too smart for that.
The bait and switch coming out there from Duper and Dagan. Initially, the two races just kind of passed each other in the middle like ships in the night, but then yeah, Duper with the callouts, and I love like not getting greedy, like not ego peeking or whatever with the op or nothing. Just like, okay, I'm just gonna tease him a little bit. Please just get the flank on him, please. My op depends on it. And sure enough, just the trust was right there. So you're able to clean that one up and continue like very similarly to what we saw in game number 1. The 4-0 lead start off here for Kennesaw. As Saints trying this again, and they're sending more and more players over to the opposite side, I think, to try and breach this one, but it's still going to be VCAN with Spike near the spawn.
Yeah, and this is one of the only other problems with Fracture is that there seems to be no consistency, which can definitely be an issue because I bring it up a lot. Look at the player spacing. How do you propose you push a site with these players in these locations? I know they're just holding angles right now, but at some point you're going to have to group up at least 3 of you and try to get a push. And right now, that'll take at least 35, 40 seconds probably. And Kennesaw setting up to hold a lot of these flank angles, a lot of these counter entries. So Blossom going to try to hold a drop there. VCAN going to walk up, try to find something. Just information gathering right now for both teams. Everyone holding an angle. You could hear a pin drop in this lobby right now.
I mean, like, it's a bunch of crossfires, but the people doing the crossfires are so far away from each other, and Deegan just gonna absolutely clutch things up. Does have the ult available as well. Actually, just gonna shut through everybody. It's gonna be all up to Casper once again, as this is looking like another sour round here for the Saints. Can Casper at least get a little bit of damage, though, economy-wise?
Yeah, the Saints found 1 or 2 trades in that tunnel area. The Showstopper did get popped online by Blossom, immediately turned off with no use out of it, so an ultimate goes to the wayside there. They do have a couple to play with, but now all on Casper. You're just trying to find one gun at this point. You don't really care who it's from. TW is going to be spraying out this drop entry. He will find one headshot, right. So good start for Casper. Going to try to find a little bit more now. He's only got 13 seconds, so may be able to find one more. Let's see how aggressive he's feeling on these peaks. Left. 8 seconds, and the aggression is slowly waning. It would look like. Going to try to back off and hopefully save this Vandal.
Yeah, at least save a little bit, right? Time's going to end up ticking on down. Any exit frags? Probably not this time by. The KO's the only thing anything close, but just going to be nice and quiet and just a little bit rough here once again for the Saints. If they even opt to buy, I think a little bit, they're going to be, some of them at least into the hundreds at this point here. And then this op has lasted like how many rounds so far? Maybe like 3 rounds for Duper. So that is just so much value, even if he's not necessarily the one getting the eliminations, just having to play around it.
Basically eliminates a long angle from the game because you know you can't swing it. And say even if St. were to take the op out, he's held the op long enough now, he will get the Tour de Force whenever he wants. So here he is, going to peek it with the operator again. Tour de Force will get popped for St. Clair, so maybe Wombat going to try to find an answer for this op hybrid. Gonna be walking into a pretty precarious spot. Duper agrees, finds the early kill once again with the op. Will rendezvous back and immediately have the peek on the other side of the site attach. Gonna try to maybe flash out Duper. Gonna be holding this arcade area. Blossom will get stunned out. Will get tagged to 85. Luckily, a couple Saints there to back him up. Wombat holding that tour de force, trying to hold the angle. Dev will have an excellent fault line. He will not use it yet. Gonna try to hold with this Vandal. Gonna try to hold this long angle. St. Clair down to 5v4, and this site has been pretty locked down so far.
Yeah, with only the one member of Kennesaw at the A site, it means whatever gunfight the Saints opt to go for towards B is going to be an absolute mess. However, they're just kind of stuck, like a little bit of indecisiveness, I feel like. Wombat is going to start making his move towards that B side.
Look how far Decan is from the site. This is the thing with Fraction. Look how far. And that's your Sage.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. Like, if you need any heals, like, good luck getting that.
He's got the wall up, too, still. So a lot of utility. Just St. Clair going to have to try to find this A rotation because Vcan actually will find a huge pick to clear sight, but St. Clair, once again, Vcan
wait a minute.
Just stuck there in a 1v1, or a lot of, maybe he got some info. Maybe they actually think it might be an A push, so the B might be able to get some push. Deegan will find the kill, so St. Clair, Duper will get the headshot on Blossom, so looks like a lot of confusion out of St. Clair. Duper going to cause a lot of it. Wombat will find the kill finally to shut him down with the tour de force, so little bit of a bright spot for St. Clair, but Wombat has his work cut out. Does have the tour de force online. Is going to get flashed out. Will actually get the headshot. And will find another for his third of the round. Wombat, who cares how you get it, but St. Clair finally on the board.
Okay, scrappy and a little bit of mind games, but it's finally get the Saints their first round on the board here, and finally getting rid of the op as well. But look at Duper's money. He hasn't had to buy anything, and he probably won't this time because, like you said, Tour de Force is ready to go.
Yep.
So just so much money in the pocket here for Kennesaw, and sure, a little bit of a motivating moment here for the Saints to get the one. Wombat absolutely clutching up here with that tour de force, but now can you do it again with just a Vandal?
Yeah, they say first one's the hardest. Hopefully that's true in this case because looking at a 0 definitely depletes the mental after a certain amount of time. Early fault line going to come through. Paint shells as well. Showstopper could get popped in the short corner. Boombot will go through. Concussion will go through, so going to try to find something. Wombat going to try to walk up on this flank. Did spot one, but didn't pull the trigger yet. Wouldn't have got the kill probably. Devin, an excellent spot. Will actually get tagged up, and now the smoke comes through. We'll try to flash through, so a lot of utility getting traded out. Duper finds Blossom. Casper finds Attach. Now it's 4v4. St. Clair, a couple ultimates on like Kennesaw. Wombat will find the kill on TW. Showstopper gets popped. Dev finds the trade out, so now 3v3. Showstopper did get shut down. Dagan gonna find the kill on Hybrid, so slowly but surely the Saints fall. Vcan gonna get hit with the concussion as well. Casper gonna try to find with that concussion. Way too strong. Gets him through the wall, so now all on Vcan finds one, unable to find one. Duper finds his third with the tour de force, and now 6-1.
I like your 3K. Let me raise you my own.
Yeah.
As he just absolutely cleans up the Saints once again. That being said, though, definitely another light at the end of the tunnel kind of spot there for Saints. There was some brilliance in there. Wombat's starting to warm up here in this lobby, whether it be with the tour de force or the Vandal, but unfortunately, the rest of the Saints also just getting kind of collapsed on here, and the ultimates coming out of the breach just making things so difficult. Just
you can put that through.
So
It can cross pretty much the gap from A to B almost. If you go in that mid area, you can cross from the backside of mid all the way onto B site with the concussion. It's really cheesy. St. Clair got a little bit of a mix by Kennesaw. They do definitely have the guns advantage. Casper gonna be on the sheriff. You're trying to find something. Duper does have the operator again for Kennesaw, so right back off the tour de force, immediately goes back to the operator, and he's gonna go hunting again. And I honestly don't blame him after his start.
You know, you have to tiptoe around, try not to make any noise to get smoked by the op, but at the same time, if you're tiptoeing around a corner, you're probably dead. As Blossom gets caught out in the open here, Deegan not going to let him get away with that. Sure enough, Duper's going to add to his body count here in this game, as Wombat does find one, though, onto Attach. But again, when the Saints in a very rough spot once again, as that's going to be Hybrid down, just up to Wombat to try and pull off the 1v4, but with no spike in hand, is going to have no chance against the 4.
Yeah, take up some damage, but Spectre definitely not going to cut it there. St. Clair once again they just look, I'm going to start to say it, I don't think they've scrimmed a lot of Fracture, or I don't think they've drilled it maybe as heavily as, and honestly, I don't blame them. Honestly, most teams I know haven't really drilled Fracture like this, but we don't really see we haven't seen one 5-stack push onto a site yet, and like I get the entries aren't necessarily the widest on Fracture, but splitting 5 players in 5 different sections of the map and having Vcan playing a battle stage all alone on A with no spike, doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. So I'd like to see them commit 3 or 4 to a push. Obviously, Kennesaw has a lot of defensive utility, so you have to ride out that first wave, but commit to a push and try to make it work instead of just trying to win these gunfights because you're just losing all of them right now.
Yeah, at this point, it almost feels like Kennesaw is just expecting the fake, if you know what I'm saying. Like, okay, they're going towards B site first, so they're probably going to the other one. And add another one to Duper's body count here as the nice little snipe. Red's going to come on out there. Hopefully, oh, that's the wall for cover, so we're going to get him out of dodge nicely. As well as the...
orbital strike could have been dangerous there.
Yeah, a little bit... not recklessly used, but used very early, to say the least. But I mean, you're in a pretty good position.
Trying to stop the res too, yeah. It was risky, but if you're 7-1, honestly, you take those chances at this point.
Yeah, you have leeway, right? So might as well. Minute on the clock here. Right now, because of that res, of course, Saints with the player advantage. But as you can see, they're all over the map, but anywhere but an actual bomb site.
I love how it goes from mayhem to literal silence and fracture.
Yes,
multiple. It's crazy. Everyone just sits with these breach lineups waiting. Concussion will go through. Flashes will come through as well. Wombat gonna set up the rendezvous backside. VCAN gonna try to push. They're gonna try to get a little bit of a split push. So I definitely like this out of St. Clair. They're gonna split push B. They should be able to get spiked on Blossom. We'll find the entry kill. So great start. Couple of trades coming through, but St. Clair on the positive end. So that is exactly the kind of push I wanted to see. Send 2 people backside B, 3 people front side B, clear out, get the bomb down, and just try to clean this round up and get this op out of Duper's hand by hell or high water.
Absolutely, and the little bot's going to end up spawning out Duper in this situation, but I feel like the Saints just do not want to challenge this unless they can somehow get like some sort of pincer attack in.
Yeah, do not.
Yeah, with the way Duper's been playing, if you're going on a 1v1, you probably lost unless you're Casper right there to shut my mouth.
That still risky. I don't care that he won that. That took some cojones to try that. Casper taking the operator out of his hands, trying to cripple that economy a little bit any way they can. Duper, however, we'll get the refresh back on the operator once again. So gonna, the economy disregarded. Gonna try to get that full buy once again. Although 12-2, seeing some really strong play out of him and Dagan, especially the last 2 games. St. Clair finally showing some sort of a game plan and a push, and they just want more of that because you're never gonna win a gunfight 1v1. You're never gonna win duel your way to a win, especially 13 consecutive rounds or anything. You have to try to have some consistency and try to find some sort of plan. And that time they had something and it finally worked out. So.
That being said, though, Duper picks up the op once again, but this time it did bring him all the way down to $50, basically. So if this op does happen to fall, or if Duper does happen to fall, the economy damage has finally been enough that the Saints can maybe start to breathe a little bit, but you still have to deal with it for the round being. Just seeing Duper is going to get called out, though. Actually, a nice little stun up there. Is going to be a nice dive, though, to get himself out of dodge. But yeah, he's going to be finished.
Ooh, yeah, got flash, got stunned. Actually got the escape. Wombat was able to finally chase him down. Now Blossom gonna try to hold this site. St. Clair actually will be able to get plant down. So once again, they committed to a push. They finally got Duper. They got him, caught him out of position, popped the utility, able to find the early kill, take that operator out of his hands, and now you have a 5v4 with the orbital strike online to try to play this post plant. Nice Molly coming through for the side of Kennesaw. Not able to hit VCAN. Flash strike gonna come through. VCAN will find the kill on attach. Will walk into the Molly at low HP and will get taken out. So all of a sudden it's a 3v3. Now 3v2 Casper. Diffuse is getting stuck. Orbital strike will come through to try to stop that diffuse. Casper gonna swing. Unable to find him. We'll try to get the flash through. TW trying to find. Will not. Hybrid finds him. Casper right underneath to the left. Gets the wall bang. And St. Clair once again showing a super strong attack and winning that one.
All right. The orbital just being able to stop that ninja diffuse just basically bought them that round. Beautifully done there, especially, of course, Saints able, like, giving a give props, they're able to clean things up right after the fact. But I don't think they had any idea that they were planning on sticking that.
That would have been trouble.
And that would have been a heartbreaker. Like, we always talk about momentum, absolutely momentum shatterer, all sorts of emotional damage, to say the least. But getting that one as we're getting closer and closer to halftime, just bring this closer than it initially was.
If you're St. Clair with these rifles and armor, you have to win this round. If you can make this even 7-5, this is definitely still well within range. 8-4, not out of the woodworks yet, but nice. Casper immediately getting the entry frag. They will find 2. They go 2 for 2, though, so not the start you wanted if you're St. Clair. You love to get those 2 picks and Blossom. Gonna get crossed up. We'll blast pack out of cover. We'll find the first kill. Wow. Finds a lot of damage on the second. Does pop the showstopper, so gotta try to look for the finish, but maybe popped it a little bit preemptively. VCAN will find the kill, but honestly, if you're St. Clair at this point, I don't really mind popping the ultimates this late into the round. Just make sure you use them, and even if you just scare Kennesaw at this point, try to clear out. They do have a 3v1, so they're at to pick up the bomb back mid A. They will try to get a rotate. They should be able to get planned, and I would assume close this round out.
Absolutely. I mean, with leaving the spike where it was and then being able to just like go as aggressive as you wanted, it did catch them off guard. However, it is going to still like take a lot of time off the clock, and they are taking their sweet time. They don't realize that TW is literally on the opposite side of the map. Of course, the bird's eye view allowing us to see that in this situation. Just going to take their time towards A. Tay's definitely got a lot of work out for him, and I don't see Saints dropping this.
Yeah, it's only because there's only one round after this. Maybe he'll try to send it and take a couple guns off St. Clair, but wouldn't be super surprised to see the save, especially when he hears the plant goes down. He might just kind of play backside. Actually, maybe he just heard the plant. He is going to try to run over. Does have a little bit of utility if he wants to play with it, but with one of these rounds, I suspect he'll probably try to get a frag, but I'm not really sure at this point what they're thinking.
Yeah, these are the kind of situations where if I were to play solo queue or something on Valorant and I'm 1v3 up against a squad, this is where I get ready to just ult F4 and cry.
All right, go next.
Because this is going to be a rough one to say the least. Because so much pressure on to Tay if he does want to make the swing, but at least knowing you have a little bit of leeway is going to be nice in that regard. And the Saints, there's solid post plants all around.
Yeah, he is going to push. You don't really need to save the gun in this point, so I actually like this decision, especially if you're playing well. Blossom says, however, shuts it down. 7-4 for St. Clair now. They actually starting to come back in this half. Looked really, really rough, but if they can turn this to 7-5 and go on the offense, offense is where you can get a lot more creative, and we've seen St. Clair play extremely well when they have the ability to be creative. So you take this to 7-5, you brought it back, you can maybe steal pistol, and then you're right back in this game.
Like, looking at the ultimate economy right now as well, lots of KSU members just one elimination away from actually scoring it. But the problem is going to be, like, you could just do breach ult for breach ult. Just, you see one, okay, send it in the same direction, stop the push. Because you assume it's probably going to be a rush at that point, right?
Yeah.
It's like two Reinhardts trying to shatter each other at the same time.
One will come through. I suspect the other might come through shortly. They actually just, I think it was, St. Clair used to try to clear that utility. Paint shells come through to delay the push. Blossom is going to try to hold this A drop area. Blossom going to try to walk up into this brim smoke, get a little smoke spam. DW will find the kill on VCan on site, so trade will go through though. Spike does go down, so Tour de Force does get popped by Wombat, so St. Clair going to invest everything as they should. Attach will find the kill on Blossom on the swing. Wombat will find one as well, so now at 3v3, Wombat is low HP, does have the Tour de Force, no longer actually gets killed. Casper was flashed for an hour behind the orbital strike, tags up Hybrid. He falls to TW, and Kennesaw will go 8-4 into half 2.
Okay, well, that's a very decisive way to finish that. Finish this half at least. Again, deja vu. Basically, we have ourselves another 8-4 game. Switching sides in theory. If this was a Kennesaw map pick, that would have meant that the Saints would have picked the side.
Yes.
And let's just hope they're extremely confident at their defense, to say the least, as we do have a timeout coming on through, which honestly, to be fair, not a bad idea. It is actually going to be a timeout on the side of KSU. So just, I guess, regroup. Different, confusing map, to say the least. Very complex with all the angles and all the crazy things you could really do on it. And it can't hurt. Your head. Might as well just pause for a second. Yeah, I don't mind the leading team calling timeout like that, especially, you know, St. Clair is going to try to get a mental reset going into half 2, and you know that they did win the last 2 out of 3 rounds, so if you're Kennesaw, you want to kind of nip that in the bud right away and just kind of shut it down and tell them, all right, stop the momentum, slow down, because Kennesaw knows if they come out and take pistol, there's a very likely chance they will end up closing the game. Even though it's only 9, they're going to have better eco, and then you just have that one bonus round, and that's going to hinge on everything. So Kennesaw knows they're very, very close to being able to put this in the closeout spot, so St. Clair, you have to try to figure out some strategy, and they have to be coordinated now. And then the production side of me is like, yes, can production throw a timeout for a commercial break? Welcome to the Valorant halftime show. With the red light on. What I'm saying, and also this is Crunchyroll and the rest of our sponsors, like fantastic stuff. But nope, it's esports. We don't pause unless we're at a LAN, or something like that. Every 20 minutes. Yeah, or unless you're at a Smash tournament where VG Bootcamp is involved. But anyway, just lots of areas to improve on in the future, but looking to improve, of course, this time by Saints going to be on the defense. We were hoping for some solid defense on Ascent, and there was definitely some standout moments. However, the consistency was just right there for Kennesaw. If we see a lot more of that, then this playoff series is going to be over. Yeah, and you just see the kills and the assists so evenly dispersed between Kennesaw. Everyone just getting involved whenever they need to and able to find that one play to make the difference in the round. Headhunter is going to be early for Wombat. Going to try to find something, but you better be very careful because there is a slew of bodies walking through. Suppressed Knife will go through into the ropes area. Attached. They are going to swing on site. Brimmy Stimmy will get the speed they need. They will walk onto A site, so full push on pistol. I kind of like this out of Kennesaw. Trades will come through, so now a 4v4. St. Clair, a little bit HP disadvantage. Couple trades. It will be a 1-for-1. Now a 2-for-1 attached. We'll find the kill on VCan, so 3v2. Kennesaw will most likely get plant down, and St. Clair
play a little bit of retake. They actually will stop the plant with the fault line, so they are delaying a little bit. TW trying to find the cross. They will find the tags. Attach finds his third. Dagan finds the Sheriff wallbang, and just like that, Kennesaw goes 9-4.
I mean, I like having the high ground, but when the high ground doesn't let you see through the tunnel that you're planting in, I mean, that gets you in a bit of a rough spot. And unfortunately, therefore, the Saints just Kennesaw cleaned up everybody in the southern spawn area. So either just focus on the one section, expect that the Saints were going to be jumping on down, and sure enough, just clean up when they did. So now another pistol round going into the favor of Kennesaw, flawlessly handling these pistol rounds so far in this entire series. I do believe that's basically 4-0 in the favor of Kennesaw, and just putting them in a fantastic economic spot right off the bat again. And with there only being another couple rounds before match point in the victory, these hurt.
Yeah, and I expect Kennesaw to honestly drop this Brimmy Stimmy and full stack B any moment now. They looks like they're actually already going to get onto it.
They're already there.
Yeah, they're already going to run on. Just like that. Double Brimmy Stimmy, you run on to B, you take site. St. Clair, definitely not ready for it. All stuck in there. Another Boombot. That's going to get a lot of information. That might actually end up taking out VCAN. If it finds him in the corner, does a lot of damage. So will actually, that was a great track by the Boombot. VCAN going to get the heal through, trying to get a little bit of that health back. But Kennesaw walks on site, finds the Molly on Wombat. So once again, the utility use just finding so much use out of for the side of Kennesaw. Hyber going to get a couple tags, will find a kill, but a couple kills coming through for Kennesaw as well. 3 Saints will fall, 4 will fall, and now it is 10-4.
I mean, the SMG versus pistol difference was definitely very apparent there. I mean, we all know the classic's pretty sick if you can get up close and start right-clicking people, but at the same time, just trying to go shot for shot with an SMG, when there's some somewhat distance. I mean, the SMG's bad from far away too.
But the classic,
but compared to a classic,
after 3 or 4 classic shots, man, you're putting your faith in God's hands at that point, because that you have no more control over that gun. So unfortunately, not able to get the tag. St. Clair putting this much money into this eco right now, they have to find this round, or I can safely say it'll be pretty much wrapped up.
Well, yeah, at this point here, if they get forced onto another eco and then assume drop it, that's basically match point at that point, right? So lots of pressure.
Especially if the ultimates come online for Kennesaw quickly too, with all these frags, it could get real ugly. Ooh. That's what you need if you're Wombat to start the round. We'll hit the rendezvous. So great start for St. Clair. Now you have to use that pick to your advantage. You took out a raise, which is huge as well. You have to play. You have to play safe now, and you have to bait Kennesaw into these free kills, because you don't want to go chasing now. They shot through the wall. It's awesome when they don't know that they're actually there, but they still know that they're there. Just quick little spray through the wall. VCAN. We'll get the ping through it though, so we'll get the info. Blossom gonna try to hold. He will spot one out. We'll just play safe. That's what I like. Oh, he will actually go for the retrig. Finds the tags. We'll get the headshot. So him and Duper going a little back and forth. St. Clair now with the 5-3-3, so just hunker down and play sight if you're St. Clair, but it looks like Blossom will be all alone for the time being. We'll get concussed out as well, so St. Clair gonna have to rotate over and stop this B plant.
Yeah, this is rough. I mean, the Saints have the player advantage. However, they're not on B. They're all trying to swing right now. This is an even fight, but Blossom is going to start things off on the right foot here. Does end up taking down Dev. Spike does get planted. It's all up to 2 more here. Attach going to take care of Blossom. Another shredding moment here, as that's going to just take down 2. Beautiful shots there from Tay with that SMG, evening this up to a 2-on-2, and it's all in Saints court. They have to make the move.
Yeah, Hybrid gonna try to get peeked out. Tay only on 30 HP. VCAN gonna get the half defuse at least, so really good for St. Clair. Tay W on the flank. We'll pop the molly. Hybrid finally aware of it, but 2 kills come through for Kennesaw, able to stop it. And just like that, St. Clair on death's door now with 11-4.
And unfortunately there for Kennesaw, I think Dev actually DC'd in the middle of that round, so it was a quick takedown, but they were able to clean.
He rendezvoused out of the lobby after the pick.
Yeah, seriously. It's going to end up being a pause, though, because of it. We see them kind
of
your
clone. Exactly. You said I got a couple puns for both of us, so.
Jeez. But, yeah, so pause time we're going to be on. We're going to have ourselves another little timeout here as we wait for Dev to return. But the pressure's on here for this NACE playoff season. I mean, it's still fantastic that we've made top 8 regardless, but I don't want to sell them out short. While the statistics might not look in their favor, you still never know what can happen here.
Yeah, we've seen them come back. They were down, I think, 10-4 yesterday. We've seen them come back and win 6-7 rounds in a row, so definitely possible. However, the one thing that I keep harking back to it, we have not seen them do anything of the sort on Fracture, and Kennesaw State looks like they definitely have some sort of plan on Fracture. That's at St. Clair. You just see this Fracture is about the site, the map is huge, but everybody uses it in a way you just send your entire team to one section of the map, because those rotations, even with the ropes, you have to cross all the way over ropes and still swing around. It takes too long to get from A to B, so most people just send that 4 and 5 stack. Kennesaw has done a really, really good job of it so far. St. Clair, they have to find an answer, because this is pretty much going to be it.
Yeah, I'm now starting to understand, like, whenever I see some of our past students, whenever I see like Yeti Impulse or Preston like on Twitter saying we're going to Fracture for this matchup, and I'm like, okay, we're going to Fracture, like that's cool. As somebody like who does follow Valorant, but not to like a super highly extensive level, I think I'm finally starting to understand why the production squad just absolutely loves it when we get to see some Fracture, because it is definitely like plays like a different breed. Yeah,
Fracture and Breeze are the two maps that everything kind of goes to the wall. Ascent, Haven, Bind, all these other maps, they do not play anything close to Breeze and Fracture. And Fracture, even apart from Breeze, Breeze is just a little more long angles, like a more like CSGO-ish style map, and Fracture is a whole other beast. Those ropes in mid, you have the sliding doors, a couple spots for ropes. There's a lot of different ways to get around that map, and there's a lot of different things you can do. As you see, the double breach utility coming through. Attach, going to be face-to-face. Look at Breach's smug face there. Kennesaw going to be up 11-4. Couple ultimates online, the null command and the orbital strike. St. Clair, you gotta, whatever you gotta do to find it, you gotta do it.
Okay, so that's the play right there, right? Like, not only are you in the Discord call with your team talking, you all have to be like face to face.
Yeah, team bonding.
You're gaming. You don't have to worry about social distancing. You're completely fine here. It's like, oh, hey man, are you okay? Are you back?
We're good.
If I poke you, can you swing left if you can hear me?
Yeah, blink twice.
Oh, there's
right on schedule, just looking around.
Yeah, so still looks like we're at least getting Dev. At least he's in the game at this point. Oh my goodness.
Whoa. We'll get you in there. Yeah, timer is paused. So maybe still trying to have some reconnection sort of things, because yeah, obviously Kennesaw trying to get that back in there. I definitely would take a 5v4.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to say, blink twice for Jedi Mind Trick.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one, to say the least. But yeah, still waiting for Dev to get themselves back into the swing of things here to possibly finish off the playoff season for the Saints. But still got a little bit of Valorant possibly to go here.
Yeah.
I still think that, like you were saying before, with the amount of comeback potential, like one round like in Saints' favor can do, to start off that March Madness run or that Cinderella story run, it's still on the table.
But the clock is nearing midnight for Cinderella.
Absolutely.
We're getting very close. St. Clair, gonna have to pull it out now. Now they're in a dogfight. Kennesaw definitely come out. They're showing that they definitely should have been the higher seed, only losing to the undefeated Northwood. So they're showing every bit of what their record showed and what their previous results showed. And this is the team, the higher level teams, especially coming into this March Madness bracket, we've seen the level of teamwork and just the quality of like the game planning and the execution. No utility seems like it's being randomly used ever. It might look like a spam fest when you're watching at home, just seeing like fault lines and all the flashes come across. I promise you, everyone is calling out everything they're doing and hitting every single angle on site to like either nullify St. Clair or make sure they can clear that first wave to get onto site and get that 5-stack going.
Yeah, I won't lie here. As I'm trying to call the broadcast, I'm starting to feel my age a little bit with some of these abilities coming out.
It's got some Overwatch vibes. With how many characters now, it almost starts to look like Overwatch at certain times.
Yeah, a little bit. While Overwatch may have all sorts of flashy colors, we have like blurs and like distortions and such here for Valorant, so it does catch me off guard a little bit. But that being said, we do have ourselves the match back up and going. Kennesaw 2 away. Duper is going to get absolutely flanked on, and solid start so far for the Saints as they do find 2.
Yeah, fantastic grenade to run in there. The null command res will go through on Attach. Attach will end up finding a kill as well, so the res comes through. The null command getting absolute sublime use there. Blossom is going to grab this ult orb, is one off the showstopper, so if he can find a pick, he might be able to get on here and cause Kennesaw some damage. The Boombot will find a little bit of information, but it is a 4v3 for Kennesaw. St. Clair, no ultimates. They do have some utility. Asper gonna try to walk through Hall here and find one. There's one in the right corner and one behind the box. Will swing, will get traded attach. That null command once again proving valuable. Finds a second kill after it. Dagan will find one. Wombat finds one, but Wombat just on a Spectre here. Gonna flip to the Headhunter. A lot of utility still for Kennesaw, and they have a lot of options. Will find the headshot though on attach. Will not be able to rendezvous away in time, and now it is 12-4, and Kennesaw is knocking on the door of the Final Four.
Man, I liked what the Saints were doing. They were like spread out, looking for like a pincer attack, or a 3-pronged attack rather, on that ace site, but just every angle was covered from Kennesaw once again. And then having that fourth player in that situation just to kind of double up on what is probably like maybe the most like possible corner there for the Saints was just absolutely clutch in that regard. A little extra defense down on the southern end, and now match point for Kennesaw with the Saints absolutely hurting. Like they have like, shotguns and a bulldog at
Yeah,
best, right?
Tour de
This is
Force,
rough.
they got some ultimates at least. Kennesaw is going to go on an op and a Bucky, so maybe some long range and some short range game if those blast packs get moving. St. Clair did pop the orbital strike as well. Fault line or concussion will come through Wombat. Try to find one. They will dig and will blast pack on the site just as I thought. Showstopper will get popped by Blossom. We will try to find one. We'll end up finding two with the Showstopper. Casper finds it with the Judge. St. Clair using that run and gun, get in your face style, able to find 3 early in the round, and now you have to play smart and you have to close this one out without losing anything.
Okay, so that was definitely some solid value coming out here for the side of St. Clair, but they still have to deal with the other two, and they are just making a beeline towards A immediately. Duper going to close things out nice and quick, just clear it up and just say, like, come on in, let's get this going. Because, yeah, everybody from Saints, as soon as that engagement happened, they all just, like, dogpiled onto B, which fair enough. But Wombat, he's going to see this. And
Duper does have the operator now. 1v1 chamber battle. Tour de Force versus Op. Wombat will delay the spike plant, so he will get the value out of that. Gonna try to back up. Duper is on the Op. This will be a pretty hard situation for him to plant, so I suspect he'll try to get some kills. Trademark will go down, holding that Op angle. Wombat gonna try to walk through Hall. Duper will find the kill on VCAN, peeking one too many times. Hybrid gonna maybe pick up the gun and try to find something. Duper still in a very, very strong position with this Op, holding that angle behind this half wall. Duper will get tagged up for about 20 health of the paint shells. Nothing to brag home about. Hybrid still trying to swing, but they know he's got the op. So while you want to take the op out of his hands, he can't really get the bomb down. So you don't want to throw away any guns for no reason here.
Yeah, it's all up to Duper to try and make this plant, and now it's just going to be the Saints finally charging in with 4 of them alive and Duper stunned up. This should allow for the Saints to survive just a little bit longer. In theory, just going to let him stick it, actually, but he has nowhere to go. In theory, they should be able to go from multiple angles and take him down. There it is. Casper going to clean things up. The Saints are not done, not yet.
Yeah, I like that they got the operator out of his hands. I don't love they let him get the plant and get some of that free money. With 4 people, you theoretically should have been able to clean that out pretty flawlessly. If you sent 4 people on him at once, I highly doubt he would have gotten more than 1 kill maybe. So don't love they let him get the plant and get that money there, but not the end of the world. Wombat did recover the operator. That is probably the most important part of the round. Now, St. Clair VCAN maybe will be on some kind of half buy. The rest of them will be on rifles, and of course, Wombat on the op. We're going to see a lot of rifles, and the Tour de Force come online for Duper now. So St. Clair, once again, now you got to win 7 in a row. Every round is going to get a little harder, especially as you drain these ultimates. So orbital strike there, but they got a lot of work to do.
I mean, I know with Saints Rocket League, anytime it goes to an overtime game, it seems like a different beast comes out and they tend to clutch up. I wonder if Saints, now that they're in the hot seat, if they can make this one happen here. But like you're saying, we're going to have ourselves a bit of an op or a Tour de Force battle here in just a second. And that is going to be close, but at least it's not going to get him punished. Does get stunned up, but he is in a safe area for at least the time being. It looks like A, or no, it's going to be B actually. The attack site this time by. Attach is ready to send it, and it looks like Kennesaw already on site, right?
Yeah, he's got another null command already ready, and he will find a kill on Casper. So once again, the KO finding extreme value from the ult and able to find 2 kills to clear sight. Now St. Clair, orbital strike did get popped to try to delay the plant. VCAN finds him. Blossom will get traded though. So St. Clair, pretty die here, and now it's a 4v1. Showstopper online, Tour de Force online.
Wow.
The Showstopper finds Hybrid. Kennesaw moves on to the final 4, and St. Clair, the clock strikes 12 on their Cinderella run in NACE StarLeague.
I mean, yep, that will be the end of the road for their playoff run. However, top 8. That's
not
actually,
bad.
That's actually kind of sick, eh? Like, I can't complain about that, especially when we were considered seed 65.
Yeah,
but
the
again,
competition they played was not easy.
oh, absolutely, especially with the one last night.
Yeah.
That was absolutely insane in its own right. But again, Kennesaw definitely showing exactly why they're sitting there with that eighth seed, and looking to continue to go further here in this tournament as they do make themselves into the next round. And another big thing too with this Kennesaw squad, while we may have said like Duper like a lot, like okay, his op was scary and excuse me on what, but everybody for the most part was all around the same area in regards to like the impact that they were making in that game.
Yeah, I think every single player that we saw had a positive KDA with at least 4 or 5 assists, and then the KO going 18 kills, 14 assists. So he got max value out of the ultimate. The flashes, we saw kills with the nades. Like I said, no wasted utility for Kennesaw. Everything had a purpose, even if it didn't seem like it. It seemed a little bit janky because of how Fracture kind of plays. Everything had purpose. Kennesaw knew it. Able to clean out 13-4 there, I believe it was. Just they looked too strong, and you just tell there was definitely a difference there on Fracture.
Yeah, and just the intent behind their plays too. There wasn't ever any of this like him and Hang in the middle, so to speak, or like we're going to one site. I'm not 100% sure. Let's just run to the other one and see what happens. And just anything that Kennesaw did, even if it was the wrong answer at the end of the day, they at least all went for the same wrong answer. Meanwhile, for the Saints, like it gets extremely nerve-wracking, of course, but when they're sitting, like I think of the Ascent specifically, there was a few rounds where they all run up the middle, and then they'd stay there.
Yeah,
and it's like
nothing.
Like, oh, do we peek it towards B side? Do we go the long way around? It's like, I'm not sure. What do you want to do?
What do you want to do?
What do you want to do? And so it's like someone just was obviously they have a lot of information to take in. But just had to make the call, even if it was wrong, just everybody go for it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that is going to bite them a little bit. But that being said, they still got all the way to the top 8. A fantastic run in their own right. Which, once again, the tournament statistics-wise, we should not have gotten this far in terms of seeding. But we did, and a fantastic job from everybody.
Yeah, absolutely great job. And on Fracture, I mean, it's hard to even have a game plan on Fracture, even after all that time. So you can't really fault St. Clair too hard. I mean, they played pretty well. They had plenty of good moments the entire tournament. That's the thing. And even if in the games they did lose, they always had moments where you're like, oh, they're making a little bit of noise here. Unfortunately, it did come to an end. Good job by Kennesaw to play that extremely well. And I think we're still going to NACC, right?
Yeah, we still have some more. Like, just because NACE Valorant playoffs are done does not mean we're done with Valorant. Of course, even tomorrow, specifically 7 o'clock, we do have ourselves another NACE match, or not NACE matchup, an NECC matchup.
And NACE.
Like, I'm trying to think if it's regular season or if it's the first of the playoff matches. We'll have to get that double checked very, very shortly up against UMass, I do believe. Yeah. But we're in this part of the season now, the part of the year where it's just like playoff games all over the place. I know even specifically for NACE StarLeague playoffs, we might be done Valorant now, but hey, next Saturday we got Call of Duty and Rocket League both at the same time. So
more double action, and
then alongside all the other leagues too. It's going to be a very exciting season coming up, and I can't wait to broadcast it all for you.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks with the playoff and all the seeding getting finalized, you can start to see everything kind of wind down. You feel the pressure ramp up, especially these last 2 days of Valorant. You feel the pressure, even though I'm not in the room playing. I felt like I went through like a 14-inning baseball game. I feel just completely worn out by the end of it, but St. Clair, they still have a chance to bounce back in NECC. What a showing in NACE. Like I said, you cannot credit them enough for. They definitely shouldn't have made it this far just flat out, but here they were. They competed. They battled really hard all the way to the end.
Or rather, like statistically, they shouldn't have made it.
Yeah, the metrics said no, hell no.
But they did it. Screw your paper, screw your statistics, and perform.
Yes.
And that they did.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all you could ask for, and I think that's going to be all for tonight. Unfortunately, sadly, not going to the Final Four. They dropped 2-0 to Kennesaw in the NACE StarLeague quarterfinals, and thank them for a great season. And then, of course, we have a bunch of other lovely sponsors to thank as well.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, first off, being Crunchyroll, which, of course, our favorite anime and manga streaming service. Extremely happy to have them on board, of course, whether it be like for someone like myself who maybe hasn't necessarily kept up with it very long but just wants to go back and watch Death Note. Heck yeah. That's
perfect.
That's absolutely perfect. And you can do something like that for absolutely no cost. Of course, crunchyroll.com/Saints. Get yourself a 14-day premium trial. And maybe stop being an anime boomer like myself and try something new.
Yeah, come on. Get involved, Crunchyroll. You can watch on the Switch, PlayStation, PC, all of it. You'll love it. You can
have no excuse.
Exactly, yeah. There's no excuse. Crunchyroll.com/Saints. And, of course, thank all our other lovely school sponsors at the school, rather. We had the St. Clair College, Zekelman School of Business and Information, the St. Clair College Alumni Association, Subway Tim Hortons, and the SRC. We thank you all so much for letting us do what we do.
Absolutely. They've saved my bacon on a lot of long broadcasting nights, especially for Tim Hortons and Subway. Sub plus coffee combo.
Undefeated.
That's the meal of esports before macaroni and cheese. So fair in that regard. But of course, still many other things to take a look at here. Firstly, we're going to take a look at the TikTok giveaway that will be wrapping up very soon here. All you have to do, follow our Twitter and TikTok, tag a friend on the post that is pinned currently on our Saints Gaming CA Twitter, like and retweet it as well. And then eventually here on March 31st, a $50 Steam gift card could be yours.
Free money and free content. How could you say no?
Absolutely. Personally, I'm trying to think. If I were to win, what would I do? I'd have to actually touch a computer for a non-broadcasting reason first. So we'll have to see when the time comes. But before that, how about we take a look at our brand new Sports Academy?
Yes. Esports, the Academy starting in the fall. We're leveling up to our final form. We have 50 new scholarship positions for all supported esports titles currently at the school and more coming up in the fall. So definitely stay tuned and look at the website. Open to all skill levels. Do not feel discouraged if you don't make varsity right away. Put your name in the hat, get in there and get to work and try to level your way up. You can apply at stclairsaints.ca/join. That's stclairsaints.ca/join for the new Academy. The fall is going to be crazy here on campus.
Oh yeah, I had actually a discussion with my dad and he was saying like, hey, if you're doing like commentary specifically for esports, don't you worry that you're just going to have like no sustaining power because all of these new titles keep coming out and Like you have to keep learning the new ones over and over and over again, and you're just going to eventually not be able to keep up. Yes, but I welcome the challenge.
Yeah, but we will try, yes.
I welcome the challenge, and we're going to get exactly that here with this Saints Academy. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we have our lovely merch from Acquire. You have the jacket. I have the lovely, lovely jersey on. Whether it's t-shirts, jackets, jerseys, or more, you can rock any of the Saints gear from the Acquire shop at acquire.ca/Saints. The merch is awesome. You want to rep Saints? We're in a lot of playoffs. We're sending some teams to Worlds. We got a lot cooking. So you want to get on the Saints bandwagon? We'll still let you. It's a really good time. That's acquire.ca/Saints for all of your merch.
Absolutely. It's a party bus that never closes.
Yes.
Just hop on board. It's a fantastic time to do so with all the things esports community-wise in general here at St. Clair College.
Absolutely. I think that'll wrap everything up for today. I think we're back tomorrow with, we said, Valorant at 7 p.m. NACC against UMass. So Valorant team will look to bounce back. Their Cinderella run does come to an end in the Elite Eight, but we are still so proud of them. Kennesaw State takes it 2-0 today. I think it was like 13-5 and 13-4 were the two games. Really good showing, and we'll see everybody on the next one.
Has this ever happened to you? You tune in to watch Saints Gaming compete at your favorite title, but you end up missing it. Scrolling through Twitter to find results is just such a chore, and it looks like there's no easy way to find out everything you've missed. Luckily, there's a solution. Hi, Millie Bays here, and I'd like to introduce you to St. Clair's Bird's Eye View, the #1 show to keep up with everything about Saints Gaming. Get weekly recaps, see great highlights, hear exclusive interviews with players and staff, and so much more. That's Bird's Eye View, available in podcast or video form at a website near you.